Hey guys, it's Alyssa Rushton here, helping you expand your consciousness and create magic and miracles every day. Today we're talking about how to actually get into 5D or the fifth dimension. We learned last video, and if you haven't watched that video, go back and watch that video about how to actually know what the fifth dimension is. In the last video, we also talked about it's not a place, it's a consciousness that you're holding. So today you're going to learn some tips and some things that you actually must do to allow yourself to get into that fifth dimension. So let's dive in. This is a tutorial. Take some notes, like this video, share it with your friends and the people who need to hear this the most. Number one, you got to heal the heart and stop the inflammation, is what I call the inflammation. Your heart actually needs to be healed, because what happens as you increase in consciousness, you feel more stuff than ever before. So if you're carrying a lot of pain in your heart, it will be very difficult for you to get up into the fifth dimension first and foremost, because what happens when we don't heal the heart, it's because we're not able to truly feel the pain. In the third and fourth dimension, there's still a lot of numbing out, drugs, alcohol, shopping, over watching TV, over anything to not feel the pain of the heart. We've all encountered so much pain in our lives that we didn't really have the tools to feel like we could feel the pain and feel very safe. So that's number one, is we've got to feel the pain, which means feeling the past pain, stopping to numb out, and really taking responsibility for what we've attracted and encountered in our lives. Not necessarily that we've attracted bad stuff and that we're responsible for the bad stuff, but we can be responsible for how we respond to it and how we deal with it. We can be responsible for actually processing the pain of those events and then allowing ourselves to expand as a result. When we walk around in that place of victimhood or not fully having healed from something, we're going to perpetuate a piece of that to come forward with us again and again and again. We might even create what I call a heart wall around our heart so that people can't get close, or so that we can't have that same pain happen. A lot of people will do this with relationships. They just won't get into another relationship, or they won't get into that same pattern that they had in the past because they're so afraid of repeating it. And that's because they haven't done all of the healing work around that. Where it really wouldn't matter if that same event happened again, because they would be able to heal and release very quickly. We also need to work to release judgment. In the third and fourth dimensions of reality, there's still a lot of judgment happening. So it's our work here to release the judgments that we're having on ourselves, on others, of how everybody's doing it. Right now, during this global time of pandemic that we're encountering here in the year 2020, it's a time when I'm seeing that people are divided against each other. There's a lot of convincing energy. And so one of the ways that we can do this is just to release judgment on people. If something is right for somebody else, we just release how we think that it should be handled for them. Releasing the judgment is something that actually has to happen in order for you to get to other dimensions of reality, especially the fifth and above, because at that level, you really are not even in the place to judge anything. You're more in the place of awareness and oneness, and you can't really hold judgments there. So that's what's happening. Now, when I talk about releasing inflammation, things that keep us inflamed and over judging and not dealing with the hurt are those chronic stressors in our lives. It could be food related. It could be over caffeinated. It could be having that rush to get to someplace on time or the next meeting on time. Not having good time boundaries for yourself keeps our personalities inflamed. Matt Kahn talks a lot about this. He talks about an inflamed personality. So we want to calm that inflammation down by giving ourselves more time, more space, more nourishing foods to stop the inflammation. So that's the first thing, heal the heart, stop the inflammation. Second thing is getting into that alpha theta brainwave state. And I always say, no high beta, no high beta. High beta brain waves is what many people walk around in. It's that feeling of having to constantly check your phone or feeling the need to get more caffeine in your body. High beta is that wired really for stress feeling. I gotta go, gotta do. And so what we want to do in order to maintain ourselves in the higher dimensions is be in alpha state, be in theta state. These are two very productive states of brain waves. They're high creativity, they're lower stress, and they help you maintain a really expanded level of consciousness. Think of a small child around 5 years old who's capable of learning multiple languages at a time and capable of learning, musical instruments and all this, just massive amounts of information. They are predominantly in the theta brainwave state and much of the time in an alpha brainwave state. It's not until later, it's not until we educate them out of that they start to pick up more of the beta brainwave states. So for you, being in alpha and theta, practicing that is really important. So how do you do that? How do you maintain a higher level of consciousness? Well, obviously, meditation is one. You can pray, you can do breath work, but you can also do this in your everyday life. You can walk, you can hike, you can swim. Getting out in nature naturally puts you into alpha. Getting into gratitude puts you into alpha and sometimes even theta brainwave state. Practicing just breathing puts you in that beautiful, relaxed state. You can also do things like yoga, qigong, sound healing. Now, the more you set your energy, some people call this setting your intention, I call it setting your energy to be in this state, the more you can be in this state, no matter what. We get so preoccupied with the past and the future that oftentimes we forget to be in the present. And so being in these alpha and theta brainwaves will really help you keep your consciousness really expanded and keep you in the fifth dimension and keep you in a really productive, positive state of being. The third and final tip is set your energy to be a 5D master. So just like anything, when you set your energy, or some people call it setting your intention, when you set your energy to do something, you're actually going to practice it more, which is really exciting. So practice holding that energy. Practice doing it on the daily, on the minutely, no matter what. Practice radiating out more love. Practice being in non-judgment. Practice some of the things we talked about in the last video and just really hold that in your energy field no matter where you are. I like to do this when I'm driving. I like to do it when I'm walking. I like to do it, anytime I'm in a store. Is practice holding that energy of massive love and non-judgment. Holding forgiveness in your energy field is also really productive to hold that frequency around you to be very high. We have these big energy fields and people can feel them from very far away. And if you're judging somebody, they're going to feel that. Or if you're having a thought that maybe needs to be forgiven, they're going to feel that. So these are the steps, really 3 pretty simple steps that you can do to get yourself into 5D. Now, one that I didn't talk about is your nutrition. Did I talk about it here? No, but I'm going to talk about it in the next video. So I'll talk about it here just a little bit. Your nutrition is really important to raise your frequency and raise your vibration. We don't experience things much without our body. Even when we're in meditation, we're in our consciousness almost 100%, we still need to bring things through our physical body. So the more you can nourish and support your physical being, it will boost your vibration. Now, obviously, there are people that have really high vibrations that may be carrying extra weight. That's not the point. The point is you want to nourish your body and take good care of your body, no matter what your weight is, no matter, what you're doing. Having a nourished body is going to support your overall vibration. It's just kind of like a car. Taking good care of your car, no matter how old or young it is or how many miles it has on it, is going to be helpful to your overall driving. So that's today's video on how to get into 5D. I really do think the most important thing is healing that heart and stopping the inflammation of life. And don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and remember we've got some resource links for you down below, but pop a comment. How do you like to get yourself up into the 5th dimensional level of consciousness? I'd love to know. And if you have any tips that we didn't share here, pop them below so that the people can see those too. All right, I love you so much. Thank you for being here on the planet at this time. Thanks for doing your work and showing up. And I love you so, so much. Bye for now.